talk about the rushing yards you want all over the place because, let's face it, the Jaguars ran all over the Colts. But last week doesn't matter anymore. Indianapolis needs to win this week to try and get home field and overtake the Chargers for best in the AFC because right now they're looking up at San Diego. Hey, how are you? Jason Horwitz at NFL.com's Pat Kerwin with you on the VSiN NFL preview exclusively here on CBS Sportsline. The 8-5 Bengals, the 10-3 Colts. Last year, it was the highest scoring game in the NFL last season. Let's take a look at the defensive comparison the last 3 weeks here because we may be looking at a high-scoring game again, but if you look at the Bengals defense, it's only given up 5.5 points a game the last 3. Now, the competition hasn't been great. The Colts, on the other hand, they're giving up points all over the place. Are we going to see a high-scoring game? Can the Colts figure out this Bengals defense?
I don't think so. I think here's an interesting point. These two teams were identified early in the season as poor defenses. And in my mind, the Bengals went out and did something about it. They got attitude. They started tackling. They started playing better. And the other guys didn't start playing better. So this is a very interesting game for me because I do think you can coach people into playing good defense. And it looks to me like that's going on in Cincinnati. Giving up 33 points in the last 4 weeks, that's a month of NFL football. I don't care who you played against. When you get it down to that, they don't even have to play that well for the Bengals to be deep into the playoffs this year. They give up 15 to 20 points a game. Bengals are going to every game they're in. I talked to Chad Johnson this week about his team. You know, he made the best comment. I knew his team was on the right track. He said, I don't want anybody playing the teams we have to play to get in the playoffs. We want to play them ourselves. We don't want to be on a bus or a plane wondering what someone else did. We want to take on that business ourselves. They're very dangerous right now.
We'll get to that schedule in a sec. Let's take a look at the two quarterbacks here because last year, widely considered the two best quarterbacks in the NFL. And Carson Palmer is having himself a heck of a season. Drew Brees obviously also. Peyton Manning is slowing down a bit. Teams are starting to get to him a little bit more, and he's starting to struggle, miss some of his wide receivers. Why?
Well, you know, they had a great combination on the backside of their offense. They have Marvin Harrison on his right-hand side all the time, and on the backside they had Reggie Wayne and Brandon Stokely. Well, Stokely's done for the year. When you looked at the production last year, the backside receivers, Wayne and Stokely, they caught as many touchdown passes as every team in the NFL did with their top two receivers. That's missing in action. Talked to Ricky Prohl this week. He was brought in there to take over for the injured Brandon Stokely. Caught 2 balls last week, shook the rust off. I expect him to have a pretty big game on the backside. He understands what has to be done back there to give Peyton some other weapons. Otherwise, they're going to roll that coverage to Marvin and stuff the offense.
All right, before we get into the Bengals' remaining schedule, who's your winner?
I like the Cincinnati Bengals in this game. I think they are on a mission. They are, and a lot of teams are acting like this, but this is the one team that is this year's version of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to take themselves into this wild card thing, and watch out, everybody. They're coming after you. You better be able to score 35 because they can.
They were 4-5. A win here would put them at 9-5. The next 2 weeks at Denver and then Pittsburgh at home. You like them to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I like Chad Johnson's attitude. We don't want someone to beat Denver first. We want to go to Denver and play them with their young quarterback. That's out of his mouth. So I like it. I like where they're coming from. They'll probably have someone arrested before then, and we'll have to talk about it again. But right now, football-wise, I'll take the Bengals.
All right, well, as long as you get them back for the game, it's okay. Well, that's a totally different story. What is it, 8 arrests on the season? It doesn't make a difference. They're trying for their 5th straight win, and it's the Monday Nighter. Cincinnati, Indianapolis, 8:30 on Monday night. For more on this game or any arrests for the Bengals, be sure to stay with CBS Sports Live. For NFL.com's Pat Kerwin, I'm Jason Horwitz. Take care.